The landing takes hours. A dozen men scale the dog steps with a taste on their tongues like salt and fear. Their ears roar and their hands bloody and frozen. When they reach the door, it is locked from the inside. A slab of steel built to resist crashing seas and hurricane winds must now be broken by brawn and bars. Afterwards, one of the men gets the shakes, the bad white shakes, which is partly exhaustion and partly the worm of disquiet that has clung to him since Jory Martin's relief boat went unmet, since Trident House told them, "Get out there." 3 of them enter the tower. Inside it is dark, and there is a musty, lived-in smell, symptomatic of the sea stations with their battened-shut windows. There's not a lot to see in the storeroom. Bulky shapes masked by the gloom, coils of rope, a lifebelt, a dinghy suspended upside down. Nothing is disturbed. The keeper's oilskins hang in the shadows like hooked fish. Their names are called through a manhole in the ceiling, sent spiraling up the staircase. Arthur? Bill? Vincent? Vince, are you there? Bill? It's eerie how their living voices cut through silence, the silence robust, indecently loud. The men don't expect a response. Trident told them this was search and rescue, but it is a mission for bodies. Any thoughts they had about the keepers escaping are gone. The door was locked. They're here somewhere inside. Bring them off quietly, Trident said. Do it discreetly. Find a boatman who'll keep it under his cap. Don't make a fuss. Don't make a scene. Nobody needs to know. And make sure the light's all right. For God's sake, somebody make sure about that. 3 men climb one after another. The wall on the next level is lined with detonators and charges for the fog gun. There is no sign of a struggle. Each man thinks of his home, his wife, his children if he has any, the warmth of the fire and a touch at his back. Long day, love? The tower isn't a place that knows families. It knows 3 keepers only, 3 keepers who are concealed here somewhere, dead. Where will they find the bodies? What state will those bodies be in? They ascend to the 3rd floor, to the paraffin tanks, then the 4th, where the oil for the burner is kept. One calls again, as much to ward off that taunting quiet as for any other reason. There is no indication of a getaway, no sign of flight, nothing to suggest the keepers have gone anywhere at all. From the oil store they mount the staircase, a cast-iron coil that runs around the inner wall all the way up to the lantern. Its banister gleams. They're an abnormal breed, lighthouse keepers, obsessed by the intricacies of domestic detail, polishing, tidying, buffing. A lighthouse is the cleanest place you'll ever set foot. The men check the brass for prints and find none. Keepers never touch the rails on account of this diligence, though if one had been in a hurry, if one had fallen or grasped, if one had forgotten himself due to a terrible thing. But nothing is out of the ordinary. The men's tread sounds the death drum, dogged and deep. Already they long for the safety of the tug and the promise of land. To the kitchen they come, 12 feet across and a socking weight tube set down the middle. 3 cupboards are mounted on the wall, inside which are tins of food precisely stacked, baked beans, broad beans, rice, soup, oxo cubes, luncheon meat, corned beef, pickles. On the counter sits an unopened jar of frankfurters, tightly packed like tissue in a science lab. By the window there's a sink, red tap for rainwater, silver for fresh, and a washing-up bowl, left to dry on its side. A wizened onion remains in the cavity between the inner and outer walls on the racks the keepers use as a larder. Over the sink hangs a mirrored cabinet that doubles as their bathroom. The men find toothbrushes, combs, a bottle of Old Spice and one of Tarbac. Next to that, a dresser containing cutlery, plates and cups, everything organized and put away with the expected level of care. The clock on the wall has stopped at 8:45. "What's this?" says the man with the moustache. The table is laid for a meal uneaten, 2 places, not 3. A knife and fork each, a plate waiting for food, 2 empty cups, salt and pepper, a tube of mustard, and an ashtray, cleaned.